Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Happy New Year. In today's video I am going to talk about an opportunity for you to study in 4 Swedish universities. That is either for a master's or a bachelor's degree, and these are fully funded scholarships, but there are conditions by universities, and one of the conditions is that when selecting the universities, because Sweden has a global portal, like one website where you can apply to study in any of the universities. So when selecting universities, for example, you might decide to apply to 4 different universities. When ranking the universities, one of the conditions for which most of those universities will give you admission is when you choose them as number 1. Once you choose them as number 1, and then you submit the necessary documents, and then you get selected, they will then send you a link where you can then apply for the full scholarship. They'll send the link through email. Without taking too much of your time, let's get to the computer and look at the universities, the application process. Before we get into the details of the scholarship, please, if you know you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos about scholarships. Now, the first one is Uppsala University. It's kind of popular but not very popular because it is not in the city, and in most cases when universities are not in the cities, people tend not to apply to, and those are where people usually have a lot of opportunities. How you can apply: in order to be considered for a scholarship, you must first submit an application for a bachelor's or master's degree at Uppsala University. You would have to use this link between the 17th of October 2022 to the 16th of January 2023. So Uppsala University program must be ranked as your first priority, like I was saying. The scholarship application period starts after this step. So you submit an application first, and then they would evaluate you and then decide on giving you the scholarship. So this is the website where you would do the admission. So it says universityadmissions.se. It is a global website where you can apply to any Swedish university in Sweden to go and study in Sweden. And since it is a global website where you can apply to any university in Sweden, when doing the classification, for example, like I said, if you apply to 4 different universities, you have to make sure Uppsala is your number 1 in the ranking before they would provide you with the scholarship. They say to apply to our scholarship, you need to submit an online application form during the scholarship period. So you have to submit an online application form. To access the application form will be available on this page during the scholarship period from the 17th of January to the 11th of February. It is important to note that you can apply now, but the scholarship application form will be available from the 17th of January. So don't get confused. Here they said the application period for scholarship provided by Uppsala begins from the 17th of January, which means the application period for scholarship is from the 17th of January. But for you to apply to study in Sweden, you have to apply now, and the deadline for application is on the 16th of January. This is it. Don't get confused. You have to send in your application before the 16th of January, and then from the 17th of January to the 1st of February, you can then apply for scholarship. You can go ahead and start with your application on this website, like right now. But then it is important to note that there are conditions. Scholarships open to citizens of countries outside of the EU and Switzerland. You have to go down here. Scholarship open to citizens of Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, and Tunisia. So if you are out of the EU and Switzerland, you can look at Uppsala University Global Scholarship and then Uppsala University President's Club Scholarship. Now you can equally look at, there is King Carl. It is important to note that this university has a lot of scholarships. That is the first thing. So you can like select from a whole host of scholarships to apply, and then you have countries here that are eligible. For those from Nigeria, it is important to note that this university accepts a lot of Nigerians. If you are from Nigeria, take the time and apply. And it is important to note that they would require you to provide a statement of purpose and then probably your CV. If you go online, you would find the list of documents added to your certificates to apply for this scholarship. The next university is going to be Örebro University in Sweden as well. They say the application for scholarship will be open from the 31st of March. Application has already started. Like, if you go here, it says the application for scholarship will be open from the 31st of March 2023. And then who is eligible? Applicant must have applied for a master's program through University Admission SE, this website. And then if you go down, they say how to apply. Apply to one of Örebro University master's program. Application deadline is the 16th of January. Like I said, it has equally started. And then you will receive notification of admission from the 30th of March, and then from the 31st you can now apply for the scholarship. So it is important to know that you first have to get an admission to all of the universities in Sweden, and then once you have the admission, and then if you classify them as number one, then they will decide now to give you the scholarship. But do not worry, choose your number one. If your number one does not give you the admission, your number two, even if you did not classify them as number one, in some cases they might not have enough students, they might still consider you for admission. You have supporting documents here. To access your application, you need to add the following mandatory supporting document to the application: personal motivation letter 1 page, CV 1 page, a minimum of 2 letters of recommendation. Now this is about Örebro University. Let's look at scholarship opportunities. They say other scholarship opportunity. They say Swedish Institute Scholarship. Yes, this is a scholarship that is very popular in Sweden, but know that there are many scholarships. This is just one of the scholarships. So the Swedish Institute offers scholarship for students from many different countries. These scholarships cover tuition fee and in most cases also living expenses. So there is a Swedish scholarship. It is offered sometimes to about 500 students per year. And then you equally have other scholarships offered by other organizations and foundations to study in Sweden. So if you go here, study in Sweden, you find a list of countries with specific scholarships offered by various organizations. And then here, list of country specific scholarships. So if you click there, you would have a list of scholarships offered by other institutions or organizations to come and study in Sweden. So if you look here, this is study in Sweden, and if you go down, you will find other scholarships. These are the scholarships down here per university. If you look here, this is Swedish Institute. You have BTH scholarship, you have Chalmers University of Technology scholarship. You can equally decide to choose the type of scholarship from other to university or Swedish Institute. Right now you have 39 available scholarships. So that's as far as Örebro is concerned. Let's go to the third university. The third one is Lund University in Sweden. They equally have a lot of scholarship opportunities for those who want to go and do a bachelor's degree or a master's degree program. You can look at the entry requirement here. It says here, these are the general entry requirement for bachelor's level. You can like read it. In some cases they will require you to provide IELTS, and then these are the requirements for master's level. And then there are equally conditions for program specific entry. And then if you want to apply, you equally have to apply online at the website that I talked about. This is universityadmission.se, this website, and you have to apply during the admission period. So the admission actually started in mid-October, but it is still ongoing until the 16th of January for you to start in autumn semester. It is very important that you don't miss out on the deadline. Now let's look at scholarship opportunities. So like I said, they have a lot of scholarships. So they have the Lund University Global Scholarship, and then they have program specific scholarship for master's program in industrial design. So if you decide to go and study industrial design, they have a scholarship for all those who apply for industrial design. And then they equally have scholarship for master's program in entrepreneurship and innovation. They equally have a scholarship for those who would want to go and do management. And then Swedish Institute equally finances those who want to come and study in this university. And then they equally have country-specific scholarships from Chile, Colombia, Guatemala, Honduras, Indonesia, Mexico, Russia, Uruguay. So when you are applying to study, like I said, all of this university will require you to first acquire the admission, and then you can then have the possibility to apply for scholarship. That is the application process, and all of that happens on this website, universityadmission.se. And then our fourth and last university is MDU University. So it says every year Mälardalen University offers a limited number of scholarships to students applying for a master programs with us as first choice. The scholarship covers 100% of tuition fee for the program as long as you follow the normal study plan minimum. So you have the conditions. You have to choose them as your first choice, and it happens on the same website, www.universityadmission.se. They say the scholarship is aimed at especially qualified students coming from countries outside of the EU, Switzerland, and who are required to pay tuition fee. The scholarship is not open to students from the 12 countries in which Sweden has long-term development cooperation. So people from Bangladesh, Bolivia, Burkina Faso, and right down to Zambia cannot apply. They say for you, if you know you're coming from these countries, you can apply for the Swedish Institute scholarship. This scholarship offered by the university, the Mälardalen University scholarship, does not apply to students from these 12 countries. But if they really want to apply, they can apply for the Swedish Institute scholarship, and they can only apply through the website that we talked about. The thing is, like I said, you get the admission first and then you apply for scholarship. Next one is application for the MDU scholarship. This is the document for the scholarship. If you open it, this is the application document for the MDU scholarship. It will require you to fill out your name, date of birth, all of this information, and then you have to give 3 examples of how your intended scholarship and your choice of program will affect your personal and professional academic development. 600 characters. And then, in what way would your intended study at the university contribute to the development of your home country? 600 characters. So you have to provide a convincing statement of purpose if you want to succeed. Do not take a single day to write this thing. Take a couple of days, maybe 3, 4, 5 days. Make sure you write, go over it, make sure there are no mistakes. Try to see if it is convincing. If possible, look for a mentor and send the document to a mentor so that the mentor can read it and then provide you with some recommendations. Applying for scholarships to go and study in any country does not require you to rush. You have to take your time and prepare your documents. That being said, for us not to make the video too long, this is the opportunity for you to grab and study in Sweden. If there are any difficulties, you can join me by clicking the Linktree link at the description section. It will take you to any of my social media handles, be it Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can join me and we can chat there. That being said, this is the end of the video. If you've not yet subscribed, please do, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.